Most people have already lost before the sun comes up. Think about that for a second. By 7 a.m., the battle is over. And the worst part? They don't even know they lost. They think they're just not a morning person. They think successful people are born with some superhuman discipline gene. They're wrong. Dead wrong. And today I'm going to show you exactly why. And more importantly, how to make sure you're not one of them. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was 28, working a job he hated, scrolling Instagram at 2 a.m., hitting snooze 5 times every morning. He told himself he'd start that business someday. He told himself he'd get in shape next month. He told himself he'd read more, learn more, become more. But every morning looked exactly the same. Alarm goes off, phone in hand, 30 minutes of mindless scrolling, rush out the door, another day, another dollar, another dream deferred. Marcus wasn't lazy, he wasn't stupid, he wasn't broken. He was just losing a war he didn't know he was fighting. A war that starts the moment you open your eyes. Or worse, the moment you don't. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The first hour of your day doesn't just set the tone, it sets the trajectory. Neuroscientists have proven that your brain is most impressionable in the morning, your willpower is at its peak, your decision-making is sharpest, your creativity is highest. But here's the catch. Your brain is also most vulnerable to hijacking. And every single day, billions of dollars are spent to hijack it. Social media algorithms, news notifications, email alerts, text messages. Infinite scroll designed by the smartest engineers on the planet to keep you addicted, distracted, and docile. They don't want you focused. They don't want you building. They don't want you winning. They want your attention, your time, your life. And most people hand it over before they even brush their teeth. Think about the most successful people you know. Not the fake ones on social media, the real ones. The entrepreneur who built something from nothing. The athlete who outworked everyone. The artist who finally broke through. What do they all have in common? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not some secret handshake. It's how they treat the first hour of their day. They don't wake up and immediately surrender their mind to the highest bidder. They protect it, they own it, they weaponize it. Because they understand something that most people never figure out. The morning isn't just a time, it's a territory. And if you don't defend it, you lose it. Let me hit you with some truth that might sting a little. The average person checks their phone within 10 minutes of waking up. 10 minutes. Before they even know who they are, they're letting the world tell them who to be. Before they even decide what matters, they're reacting to what someone else thinks matters. Before they even have a thought of their own, they're consuming someone else's. That's not living, that's existing. And existing is the fastest path to a life of quiet desperation. But wait, it gets worse, because it's not just about your phone, it's about your environment, your habits, your default settings. Most people wake up to chaos, clothes everywhere, dishes in the sink. A to-do list that feels like a mountain they never agreed to climb. They start the day in reaction mode, reacting to mess, reacting to stress, reacting to everyone else's priorities. And by the time 7 a.m. rolls around, they're already depleted. No energy, no clarity, no momentum, just survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're not building, you're not growing, you're not winning, you're just trying to make into bedtime. Day after day, week after week, year after year. Until one day you wake up and realize a decade passed, and you're exactly where you were, just older and more tired. Now let me ask you something. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many times has tomorrow come and gone with nothing changed? How many times have you watched someone else do what you said you'd do, while you stayed stuck in the same cycle? That pain you feel, that frustration, that quiet voice in the back of your mind that says, "This isn't how it's supposed to be." That's not depression. That's not anxiety. That's your potential screaming at you. That's the person you could become, begging you to stop betraying yourself every single morning. Here's what separates the winners from everyone else. It's not that winners don't feel tired. They do. It's not that winners don't feel lazy. They do. It's not that winners don't want to hit snooze, scroll their phone, and stay in bed. They absolutely do. The difference is they don't negotiate with that voice. They don't let the 5 a.m. version of themselves make decisions for the 7 a.m. version. They decide the night before. They set the alarm across the room. They lay out their clothes. They prep their coffee. They remove every excuse before the excuse even shows up, because they know something crucial. Discipline isn't about having more willpower. It's about having less friction. Let me break this down in a way that'll stick. Imagine two people. Person A wakes up, grabs their phone, checks Instagram, reads some drama, watches a couple reels, maybe answers some texts. 45 minutes gone. Mind scattered, mood dictated by whatever algorithm served up. Then they rush through a chaotic morning, skip breakfast, forget their keys, hit traffic, arrive stressed, and spend the first hour at work just trying to remember what they were supposed to do. Person B wakes up, doesn't touch their phone for the first hour, drinks water, moves their body for 10 minutes, writes down their top 3 priorities, eats something real, and spends 20 minutes learning something that moves them forward. Then they walk into their day with clarity, momentum, and purpose. Now here's the question. Which person do you think wins over time? Not in a day, not in a week, but in a year, in 5 years? The answer is obvious. But here's what's not obvious. Person B isn't doing anything extraordinary. They're not waking up at 4 a.m. to run marathons. They're not meditating for 2 hours on a mountain. They're not eating raw kale and chanting mantras. They're just protecting the first hour. They're owning their morning instead of surrendering it, and that small difference compounds into an entirely different life. Warren Buffett reads for hours every morning. Oprah Winfrey meditates before the sun rises. Dwayne Johnson is in the gym while most people are still dreaming. These are defensive strategies. They're building a fortress around their mind before the world can breach it. And here's the wildest part. You don't need to be a billionaire to do this. You don't need a mansion. You don't need a personal chef. You don't need perfect genetics or unlimited free time. You need one thing. A decision. A decision that your morning belongs to you. Not to Mark Zuckerberg. Not to your boss. Not to the news cycle. Not to that group chat that can absolutely wait. To you. But let me be real with you for a second. This isn't easy. The first week will suck. Your brain will scream for the dopamine hit of your phone. Your body will beg for 5 more minutes. Your old habits will fight like hell to survive. Because habits don't die quietly. They die fighting. But here's what I need you to understand. That discomfort, that resistance, that feeling like you're swimming upstream, that's not a sign you're doing it wrong. That's a sign you're doing it right. That's the feeling of breaking out of a prison you didn't know you were in. Most people never feel that discomfort, because most people never try. They hit snooze, they scroll, they react, they survive. And they tell themselves stories about why they can't change. I'm not a morning person. I need my phone to wake up. I'll start when work calms down. I'll start when the kids are older. I'll start when I feel motivated. Here's the truth that'll set you free. Motivation is a lie. It's not the spark that starts the fire. It's the result of starting the fire. You don't wait to feel like it. You do it until you feel like it, not the other way around. And the morning is where you prove that to yourself, every single day. So let me ask you again, what happens to you before 7 a.m.? Because that's not just a time on the clock. That's the proving ground. That's where you either build momentum or bleed it. That's where you either claim your life or surrender it. That's where the gap between who you are and who you could be either shrinks or grows. And here's the beautiful, terrifying truth. You get to choose. Every single morning, you get to choose. Not your parents, not your past, not your circumstances. You. Right now, today, tomorrow, and every day after. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, try this. Set your alarm for 30 minutes earlier. Put your phone in another room before bed. When you wake up, don't touch it, don't look at it, don't think about it. Instead, drink a glass of water, stretch for 5 minutes, write down one thing you're grateful for, and one thing you're going to accomplish today. That's it. 10 minutes, maybe 15. Do that for 1 week, just 1 week, and watch what happens. Watch how your energy shifts. Watch how your clarity improves. Watch how your confidence builds. Not because you did something massive, but because you stopped letting the world steal your first hour. Most people fail before 7 a.m. because they never decided not to. They never drew a line. They never built a wall. They never chose themselves. And year after year, that choice compounds into a life they never wanted but somehow ended up with. Don't be most people. Be the person who owns the morning. Be the person who decides before the world decides for them. Be the person who looks back a year from now and doesn't recognize the person scrolling their phone at 6:45 a.m. Because that person is gone, replaced by someone sharper, stronger, clearer, unstoppable. The alarm is going to ring tomorrow. What you do next is everything. Choose wisely. Why most people fail before 7 a.m.